Hello everyone, this is Tom from Dirk Witte Music Store in Utrecht, the Netherlands, and today we are taking a look at this incredibly cool 1957 Gibson ES-125 archtop electric guitar in its original three-tone sunburst finish. So a big old jazz box from the 1950s, kind of like from the golden age, if you will, from Gibson. Like think 1957, also then think 1957 Les Paul Gold Top with like the dual PF humbucker pickups, so from that same time. So yeah, like very cool. But this is obviously not a Les Paul Gold Top. This is an ES-125, which is basically just a big old non-cutaway archtop Gibson, but then with a P90 added in the neck position. It is kind of like a bare bone model, so like no fancy things going on, no fancy like inlays or mother of pearl or even two pickups, no cutaway, so very much bare bone at that, but like not that you need any more than this, because this is a phenomenal playing and sounding old model made by Gibson in the 1950s. So let's dive into the specs. We've got a full depth laminated maple body. So the top, back and sides are all made out of a laminated maple. Obviously then you've got a burst on the top, and then on the back we've got a kind of like a brown stain, kind of looks like mahogany at that, but it is still maple. But it is actually very nice looking, also with a very pretty wood grain. Hopefully you can see that, paired with all of that patina, all of the finish checking and just wear and such of like yeah, many years of playing. But as we can tell, in a very nice shape. Got your sound holes obviously over here, as you would like to see on these kind of models. Then your original P90 over there in the neck position. Got a floating rosewood bridge, which appears to be original, so that is very cool to see. More than likely also made out of Brazilian rosewood. Also then got the original tailpiece, and then also what appears to be the original faux tortoiseshell pickguard. It is definitely old because it is starting to curve, as you can probably see right there. It's kind of like starting to warp, but not all that badly, so it is actually still looking quite normal. Also then here with your bracket, then you've got just one volume and one tone control, obviously for your one P90 pickup, and then you plug it in over here. Got the original mahogany neck with a rosewood fingerboard, which is more than likely also Brazilian rosewood. Also there got some very nice wood grain, very nice mineral streaking going on with just your plain dot pearloid inlays, no binding or anything like that. You just got binding around the body on the top and the back, but like no binding around the neck or the fingerboard. And then obviously, like I said, mahogany neck. The profile is it is a little bit beefy, but it's not overly beefy. I think that this is actually still quite rather medium, but it is like medium to thick, so it is definitely a little bit more beefy. I believe that most people would just be fine playing this neck, because it is just not all that big. The shape is just definitely a C shape, very nicely rounded, and it just plays and just feels very nice. We've then got what appears to be the original bone nut. Then your Gibson headstock, obviously with your logo decal, like the silk screen, and then your 3 on a row tuners, like the vintage style ones, also then made by Clusen, what appears to be, yes, Clusen Deluxe tuners, and they do work very nicely. And then also your plain truss rod cover over there, also with no markings or like fancy things going on. So again, very bare bone, but yeah, in like all of the right ways. Last thing to mention, it also comes with a case, probably not the original one, but definitely an old one, and it's kind of like a soft shell case. It is not one of the cardboard ones, but it is definitely a cool case. It definitely does match the vibe of this instrument very well, with a very cool blue interior. So actually just a very decent case at that. So yeah, very cool model, very cool to have in the shop, like from the golden era from Gibson. But yeah, a very unique model also, obviously, because it is like completely hollow and it has no cutaway. You just got a P90 in the neck position, so it's basically just like an archtop acoustic almost, but with a P90 just drilled directly into the top, and then two knobs and your input jack over there. Because I believe that these also existed as an acoustic model, and that would just be exactly this model but minus the P90. Again, very cool model, quite unique for this day and age, but plays and sounds very, very great, as we will hear so in a minute. So let's then get to that part and hear what it sounds like. But first, if you're interested in this 1957 Gibson ES-125, be sure to head over to the links in the description for further details. If you enjoyed this demo, be sure to like the video and to subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of cool gear like this, cool electric guitars, acoustics, bass guitars even, all of that really cool stuff. Also be sure to like us and to follow us on our socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. With all that being said, let's hear what this 1957 ES-125 made by Gibson sounds like. I will first be playing it acoustically, because this is still just a big body with a lot of depth, so it definitely makes a lot of sound. And then I'll be playing it through an amp, so through the Marshall JGM 45 from 1966. So yeah, let's then move on to that part and hear what this 1957 ES-125 sounds like. Let's take it for a spin.